All right, I just said it, but why don't you go ahead and introduce who you are and what it is that you do?
I'm Brandon Harper. I am Dayton Flight's team market owner and general manager.
So, almost everything we've done so far were new teams.
Okay,
Dayton is not new. Dayton was here last year.
correct.
How'd you guys do last year?
I tell everybody we took the good with the uncertainty that was last year. On the court, I believe we had the best guard play in the league. Three of our guys averaged over 20 points. Of course, they stuffed the stat sheet in other areas. It didn't translate into the winning column, but moving forward as we solidify our big man, I think we'll be doing something pretty special this year. And off the court, I think that's where we thrived. We were able to get into some schools, and we were able to team up with some nonprofit organizations to strengthen relationships in the city.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those specific things that you would have done with the team. I know you mentioned getting into the schools and stuff like that, but what were some of those hardcore specific things that you were able to do?
Yeah, Read Across America was huge for us. The kids, they revere our guys, especially a guy like a Joe Ballard who's got millions of views on YouTube. To be able to see him up close and personal is an experience like no other. And teaming up with nonprofits like Young Black Dayton Professionals, it's an organization in our city where they delivered up to 1,000 meals around the Thanksgiving time frame, and we were able to adopt a family as well in our city. So, those things off the court, they embody what TBL is looking for each market to do.
What is it about that community aspect that keeps a team like yours in Dayton? What do you guys like so much about that?
Well, for us, we don't exist if it isn't for the community. So we want to reciprocate the support that they give us. If we're able to do that, it translates into success when it comes to ticket sales and the support with what we're looking to do with our TV show. More and more, as COVID works itself out, we have to make sure that we're a TV show, whether we get people in the stands or not. And they'll support us if we support them, and that takes getting out in the community, and that's what we started this for. Yeah, we wanted to put a great product on the court, but if we're not getting in the community and being a part of Dayton and building our community up more and more, we're just a basketball team, and that's not what we want to be. We want to be a staple in the community, and that's how we do that.
So a team that's already been, played last year, how do you view an event like this? How are your eyes different than some of the new teams that are out there?
Well, going through this experience last year, it's one of those situations where it's refreshing because we get more and more resources from last year to this year, and of course we had tremendous platforms like yourself come and introduce themselves to the league, but more and more as markets continue to come into this league, we get great platforms, great sponsors, great partners, and then the players, they come from or other areas across the world, not just here in the United States. Last year we went from, I think we had maybe 100 and some kids to over 200 and something this year. And last year was an experience where our eyes were wide open as an organization, and we didn't know what to expect. This year, to be a little more relaxed and focus on the talent as opposed to preparing for the event and not knowing what to look forward to, it alleviates some of the things that when we came in last year we were worried about with maintaining as an organization as far as keeping up with everything else going around the league. Now we're able to sit back and assess some things that we've done right and wrong, and move forward and go in the right direction, right direction as an organization.
What were some of those things you guys did wrong?
I'd say the biggest thing for us as far as what we did wrong was, I'd say not taking advantage of all of the resources that TBL provides for us. We've got great stewardship with Evelyn Magley and David Magley, and sometimes we feel like we can do some things on our own, but their stewardship is why we're here, and we have to be mindful of that and know that when there's certain situations that come about that we aren't quite prepared for, we have to look to them to steer us in the right direction. Like I said, their stewardship is like no other, not just with this league, but other leagues across the world. So we have to take advantage of that as an organization. And I don't think we did that as much as we should have. And we'll definitely be doing that this year.
So obviously you hit very hard how important it is for the community aspect. And now that you've done a year here at a combine like this, what do you listen for? What do you look for when you're scouting guys out there to make sure that they're going to fit in the community aspect of the flight?
Well, you get guys who want to let their game speak for them, but it means a lot when a gentleman comes up and not only introduces himself, but he inquires about certain things about the organization and not what we're looking for on the court. But when guys come up and ask us, what are you guys looking for in your organization? Then we're able to expound on that and get into the community aspect. But you get 9 times out of 10 fellas coming up and, hey, what type of, what are you looking for, guards or centers? And then we have to correct them and let them know we're looking for great men to come into our organization. And you spoke about it. The community aspect of it is a very big component. And if they don't realize that, we kind of scratch them off, mentally scratch them off our list. And, we can tell. It's something that we can spot pretty quickly.
So other than Steph Curry, I don't know much about Dayton. So can you go ahead and tell me something about that? Why do they need a team?
Basketball tells us we're important by actually having us host more NCAA tournaments than anybody in the country. And we have to live up to that standard. I feel like this is a perfect market when you think about the past with gentlemen like the late, great Dwight Anderson. I've got family who's got great history in Dayton, Ron Harper. And you think of others who more recent guys who've done great things in the basketball world. Norris Cole, Daquan Cook. But to have a market in this league where diversity in the front office is key. I believe the NBA higher tier league, the NBA, they're trying to get onto TBL's wave of that diversity in the front office and the community impact, how they strengthen relationships in the community. We've been through some wild things over the past 2 years. You think we'd be in the twilight zone with tornadoes, unfortunate mass shooting that we had. Mm-hmm. We need a rejuvenation in our city, and I think this is a perfect time to do just that.
By the way, for the record, I realized I said Steph Curry with Dayton, and he went to Davidson, and I know that just for everyone who will watch this later. I tripped up. I'm allowed to do that once.
It's all good. I know where your heart was.
What is something we need to know about the Dayton flight that we haven't talked about?
Well, I think our community as a whole, they embrace basketball like no other. This is a basketball town, and we've got great sports organizations like the Dayton Dragons, who we're trying to, follow their blueprint and become a staple in the community for, as they have 20 years and beyond. So,
is that baseball?
Baseball, yep. It's a minor league baseball team that we have in the city. And, if we can do some things that they've done with the, the community and the entertainment that they incorporate with their baseball team, if we can do that on the basketball court and make sure that we're doing the right things. We continue to do the right things in the community. I don't think that we'll have a problem with making a name for ourselves. They'll see us, hopefully, when we're hosting that trophy up.
Where can people find the Dayton Flight on social media?
Instagram, Dayton Flight. Facebook, Dayton Flight. You can actually also go on, we've got Community Sports Live here. You can go on their site as well, check out some of our highlights. We've got TKDS as a sports broadcast network that we'll be on as well. But we've also got DaytonFlight.com where you can catch everything that'll be updated with our players and our staff as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.